Nawr groesawu i'r llwyfan. Please now welcome to the stage Westminster candidate for Brecon and Radnorshire, ymgeisydd San Steffan ar gyfer Brycheiniog am ei sefed, Freddy Greaves.
Bore Conference. In Wales, sometimes it seems as if we're in the shadows. But I know there is a light waiting to be switched on. A light like those already shining in Greece, Spain and Scotland, where people are awakening from darkness and standing up to austerity and inequality. It is our responsibility to flick the switch on and light up Wales. I'm not talking about dilly-dallying with the dimmer dial, but flicking the light on, bright and sudden, all across Wales. We have a choice. We can languish in the darkness, or we can fight to light up every corner of our country with hope. Every corner, including mine. I was born in Radnorshire to English parents, attending our tiny village primary school and then the small secondary school in Builth Wells. I was lucky to be brought up at a time when rural education was properly funded. As an adult, I've lived in London and Tokyo, and while impressive cities, my experiences there reinforced a fundamental truth to me. A truth known since the dawn of time. Rural life is vital to the functioning of civilization. Without a countryside, there can be no cities. Full of passion for rural society, I've returned to Brecon and Radnorshire, and yet I find myself carrying a sense of fear for our future and that of our children. Now I'm standing, fighting for Plaid Cymru. Fighting for hope, for investment, for a long-term vision. Fighting against the politics of ideological austerity, despair and greed. I know that there is a brighter path for rural Wales, Europe and the world. If you take the challenges the world faces and you wanted to create the foundations of a sustainable society, Wales, and in particular Powys, would be the perfect model. We have food, we have energy, and we have plenty of water. More importantly, we are a caring and tenacious community of communities with a radical history, Rebecca riots, Chartists, land reform, and we are proud of leaving no one behind. So why are we headed so fast in the wrong direction? Why, when it seemed so obvious in 2008 what needed to be done globally, have we got to this position locally? On food, we have mega dairies and supermarket domination of our food chain. The opening of a food bank in my hometown of Llandrindod, Wales, I never thought I would see the day. And welfare reforms that seem to foreshadow a return to the dark days of workhouses. On energy, we have cuts to green feed-in tariffs and a failure to localise the benefits of what is now turning out to be an extractive industry for the benefit of the few. On water, our most abundant and valuable resource, we have no control, still, and it gets worse. Powys is languishing near the bottom of many measures in Wales. Wages, productivity, housing affordability. Our young people are left with little hope and are migrating away. Those that remain are expected to accept menial employment, sacrificing rights which were hard-won by previous generations. Cuts are leading to the potential closures of doctors' surgeries, leisure centres and high schools. All of these are seen as opportunities for cynical grandstanding by the austerity parties who are working hard to conceal the truth. The truth I want to highlight. My part of Wales is hard done by. The coalition in London underfunding Wales by £1.2 billion compared to Scotland, hard done by. Labour in Cardiff handing the biggest cuts to Powys and Ceredigion, hard done by. Being poorly served by politicians who would want us to think the only option is between yellow or blue Tories, hard done by. And people are feeling it. Like the man I met last month whose family is suffering terribly due to the cutbacks in mental health care. Like him, on the doorstep, person after person after person have told me they will no longer vote for the broken promises of the Lib Dems, Tories or Labour. And this is where we must step forward, the positive alternative. We have a growing responsibility to get our messages out there and understood. With all of this darkness comes attention and energy waiting to be released. It's not apathy, but dismay with the current shadowy system. We must flick the switch and dispel those shadows. We must capitalise on this moment, expand our horizons, work, grow and win. Brecon and Radnorshire is ready to be lit up in Plaid Cymru green. We are the natural choice for rural Wales. Across the country, we must fight for every community, council, Westminster and Assembly seat with the positivity that can only come from one simple truth. We are the party for all of the people of Wales. For farmers, small businesses, the public sector, old and young, we have the policies to be proud of. The rewards will be great if we seize this opportunity. Our potential to be a bright, shining example to the world, protecting our most vulnerable, the health of our people and our culture. We must flick the switch, a small positive action by us with potentially enormous consequences. Flick the switch and illuminate the path that can only be taken when Plaid is doing well across the whole of Wales. Let us grow. Green growth, growth to revitalise our country. Let us take control over our natural resources. Let us grow our economy through investment, not cuts. We can determine our own future. Free from the shackles of the broken Westminster system. Free to be proud that food production is not a matter of pure profit, but of health and security for us all. Face down global pressures, stand against neoliberalism, and stick up for our farmers. Free to support small businesses. Remove hundreds of them from the worry of business rates arrears. Use the public purse to procure locally, recycle the wealth. Free to create jobs for our young and then pay them a living wage. Free to protect our public services from ideological destruction. Free to develop fully integrated healthcare designed for the needs of our people, not the needs of a budget sheet. We will not put the wants and desires of the global elite ahead of the most vulnerable in our society. We will value our traditions and history and show a positive vision, a confident, bilingual and progressive society. I will take that message out to the people of Brecon Radnor again and again and again, flicking the switch. The Lib Dems, Conservatives and Labour want to leave the switch well alone. As we saw throughout their negative campaign in Scotland, they want to keep people in the dark, fearful. They want us to believe that the only choice is between different colours of cuts, yellow cuts, blue cuts or red cuts. People rely on the corporate media to reveal the truth, and the media's narrow spectrum of views are leading us down the dark path to societal and environmental destruction. Flick the switch. We must use new media, new ways to shine a light on reality. Show how the so-called choice between Westminster parties is no choice at all. My MP recently told me the Liberals have been talking about home rule for longer than all of our 90 years. I call that a serious failure to deliver. His excuse for voting against the devolution of water to Wales? Not the right locus for the change. Another year has gone by since then. Another year without control over our resources. When is the right time? When will we be able to use our strengths to develop our economy? One thing is clear, and it is no secret, the voting records are there to see. Only Plaid Cymru MPs will always stand up for our communities and vote in Wales's best interest. We will see a fair settlement for Wales, but only because it will be us who hold the balance of power after May. But we must flick the switch, boost our presence, light up Brecon and Radnor and Wales with discussion, conversation, challenge. Inspired by the example of Scotland, I'm engaging with the next generation, sparking their interest. The other parties are angsty about this, as misconceptions benefit them. They want to think we are hardwired from youth into voting one way only, forever more privatisation, erosion of working rights, and a widening gap between the haves and have-nots. Scotland has shown the pace of change can be rapid. They flick their switch, and the general election campaign there now is alight with new hope and possibility. This year, we are flicking the switch in Brecon and Radnor. We put the first of our posters up for St David's Day. Travel the roads now of Llanganader, Builth Wales, Llanelwedd, Garth, Llanwrtyd Wales, Brecon and Llandrindod Wales. And you will be aware, Plaid Cymru is here and we are here to stay. Our membership is up 10% since January. We are contesting town council seats in our rivals' heartlands, taking the fight to them. We are all over social media, spreading the positive message of hope. We are putting our all into this challenge, and this will pay dividends. Plaid Cymru, this is our opportunity. We are opening people's eyes to the positive alternative, like the former teacher I met, who retired to Wales and is now happy at last. Finally, she has found a party with policies she can believe in. Switch our lights on. We have been in the dark for too long. Let us start a chain reaction. Spread the energy. Let us feed off each other. Light up the community of Wales, the world of nations, and let's brighten all our futures. Diolch yn fawr.